Oh, the clamps have arrived. I didn't get a cast, I wanted a steel one. It's worked just fine. This can go on there. We can, I reckon this will fit on there. That'll make that come up that little bit higher anyway. So that, let's unscrew that a bit. That clamp is going to go on there nicely now. Yeah, and sit in there, and then we can tighten this underneath and take the excess off. Let me show you what it's going to look like. That fit in there nicely, got a good grip. Not too deep that it misses. Past there, clamp that under there. We'll cut this off, screw this in, cut that off until we've got enough, so it's just enough to do the tightening, because it's here just to do the one job. And paint that black, and that'll be fine. That'll be just fine for that job. Oh, lovely. Yeah. How did we find that nut, by the way, for there? Well, we wanted a nice stubby thing, didn't we? Yeah, here, look. That's the one. Yeah. That's what it's going to do. C4. C4. So that's A. That's B. This is C. C4 means shelf 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Little fat stubby thing we want. Little fat stubby thing. There we are. That's gonna be lovely, that is. Let's pull that out and have a look. Take the galvanizing off there and take the coating off there. That will sit in there lovely. I'll get a lovely strong burn on that. Plus it raises the height of that. And what I have to do is alter this, cut that, reshape that, put that in there. Easy peasy. Yeah. I'm glad now I made sure it was a steel clamp that I was looking for. Be careful when you buy these. Some of them say it's a cast. A cast isn't good for welding. This is just a piece of cheap stamped metal, so this is going to be just fine for what we want. It's due shortly. So you'll hear her coming. She'll park the car and then she'll come to open the door. And we are down here waiting for Debbie to open the door. We're at the side of the door, aren't we? I've done this so many times on her, but I haven't had the camera running, so let's do it with the camera running. I've got a confession to make. Debbie took my car today, didn't she? She didn't take her car. So I'm stood behind the door waiting to jump her. And she's not going to come through here to get her car in the tent. She's parking in the front of the house today, isn't she? Because she's got my diesel. Ah, I'm such a lemon. Look, she's already here. She's already here. Oh. Where's the cat?
No.
Where's the cat?
Oh.
I was waiting behind the door ready to jump you. I forgot you had the diesel.
You weird.
I'm stood out there waiting for you.
I hope you got wet.
So before we carry on with the clamp, let's just clean this. We're going to do a little project with the vinegar. It's always handy, get yourself a shop paper, you know, workshop paper. It's always good for cleaning this because you can wipe it and throw it instantly. You're not sort of wasting a whole rag. If you're struggling to keep rags, shop paper is great for, you know, wipe it and throw it away. Funny stuff. It's become almost like a red treacle, meant to be rust, but funny stuff. Yeah. So we're going to just pick up some white vinegar. Just you know, order it online, white vinegar. So we're just going to put some white vinegar in here for this job. Yeah. Quite a depth on it. About there, I'd say. Yeah. Nice white vinegar. Look at this. I know it's only a tyre wrench, a wheel puller. It was in Stephen's garden. Stephen and Mel's garden, and Mel showed it me and said, look what's come out the floor. Oh, so okay, it's simple. You get this flat disc and just grind it all off. That would do it just the same. But I'm just interested to see what's it look like. Wire brush would be hard work on this, wouldn't it? So let's let the vinegar do its job for a couple of days and see what happens. But oh wow, that is quite a challenge for that. I think it's going to be interesting. We'll leave it and see how it comes out. And there's all sorts of different things of cleaning or something. In this case, we're just going to throw it in the vinegar, aren't we? Yeah. You know, a clamp is a clamp. These are drop forged, aren't they? Yeah, they just put in they're a piece of metal. I don't know if it's cut or I don't know. It's made red hot, hasn't it? And maybe bent into that shape, or even casted like that. I don't know. Is there a casting line? Is that being sand casted into there? Anyway, I'd say forged. These tend to crack. If you force them too much, they'll crack. But they're not good to weld to. You can't really get a good weld to them. That's why I went for the steel clamp, because we can weld and bodge to this. This is just a, I don't know, would it be a cheaper version or a faster version to make? It's just been bang stamped, hasn't it? It's a sheet. This has been crimped, cropped. Yeah, it's been cropped off. Weld that with a thread on there. So it's going to be a much better weld and a much marriage of metals than this would be. So if I got the option, and I was buying them just to do this job, so if you've got the option and you're making one you're going to weld on, make sure you get the steel ones rather than the forged ones, you know. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit all the way through, you know, if it was touching the bottom, but we've got one here, look. Doesn't go through. So I was wondering if I had to cut a bit off the bottom, but that's going to sit. We're using those on the bracket for the flagpole, aren't we? And they're fitting in here, and they're going to clear the bottom. Yeah, so no need to shorten these. No need to shorten these. They'll be just fine. And a nice good fit as well in there. Yeah. See them? These square nuts have been so handy. We've got a nice supply of them, but they've been so handy for making squares, filling in corners, or yeah. So don't walk past them. We've used this on quite a few different jobs, haven't we, these? So these square nuts are well worth landing on. You don't see them very often. I don't even remember what job this has come off. Obviously, we've had an idea. We've thought we'll weld a nut in there. Well, you know, them nuts with a built-in washer on them. And we thought that was a good idea, but for whatever reason, we've either dismantled something or we've done it and changed our mind and done it another way, which is what you can do, isn't it? Then, less waffling, more doing. So we've bodged that onto there. That'll soon clean up. Bit of black paint will hide it. We've took the tip off the end of it. We've forced out the tip of the end of it. We're now going to shorten this. I'm going to screw this all the way out, shorten it, and remake cut it and make that shape so it'll go into that cup. Yeah. So, how long? It's about 2 inches, isn't it? Yeah, we've got 2 inches. Obviously, it's not the only. This is just basically stop it jumping out. I don't think it'd ever jump that much, but you never know. We've took plenty of precautions now, haven't we? we can afford to lose 2 inches. The gap is 2 inches. Ooh, blimey. So we're gonna, why are you doing that? That's it. So 2 inches. So at 2 inches, we've still got an inch or an inch and a half of travel, haven't we, with that thread? So if we cut that there now, that would be the bottom of it, and there'll be plenty enough to wind up into it. So I think 2 inches are going to be all right. I've got an idea for this top here. Right then, we've committed to it now. Make sure the first one is correct, because we've only got one spare. We bought a pack of 3. Sometimes it's better value to buy 3 of them than 1 of them or 2 of them. Yeah, came in a pack of 3 for whatever reason. So I was going to grind that away till it fitted in there, put that in there, that would do the job. But the and weld a bigger washer on there. But that's an alloy, that is, yeah. So how can we make a Reggie version of this that's going to go on there? And maybe not have to grind the end of that. Maybe just a nut and a washer. Let's have a look at that. So we can't really enlarge this footprint of that, because look, behind there is the nut and the washer for the tow bar itself. There we are. Hold on, let's get in there with my finger. Yeah, look, you've only got a finger. There's the nut, there's the washer underneath the nut, so you haven't got the room to put anything bigger under there, really. No. But it's done what it wants to do. It's hooked into this top one. It's secured it. It's not going to rattle. If it gets loose, it's not going to rattle loose. And of course, it's well clearing the bottom. So it's doing what we want it to do. Yeah. It's doing what we want it to do. So by the time it's wound up. And even, look, even if it comes loose, it will rattle. It's got the desired effect. It will rattle way more than even at that. Look, that's not gonna disconnect. That's gonna rattle way more than come off. Yeah, because a pure clamp would have just fallen off, wouldn't it? But we've put the nose on it now, and the nose goes in the hole, and that'll clamp it on. I'm a lot happier. And that's only to hold something from jumping out anyway. So, you know, we are there. We will be obviously clamped as well. Clamped and gripped. So the clamp's going to go in over the top, in through there, look. And this will do underneath. And by the time we've painted this all black and given that a bit of a wire brushing and a grinding, that'll be just fine. Yeah, it'll be just fine. We've got the desired effect, haven't we? We've got the hooks there, and we've put that back on. Just ground that down a bit, hooked that in. That's going to be okay, you know. That's going to be okay. Clean this up and paint it black. You wouldn't really know, would you? Let's do another one. In a nice satisfying little job. Yeah, shorten the shaft, put the end on them, put these in there, put that, clip that over there like that in there. Okay, you could weld this up and grind and do it all back, make a dome. You could put something like milliput on it, and that would make it look nice. Or you can get this sort of putty that you mix together and you put it in, wait for it to harden, then you sort of file it all off again, make it look nice. But that's not us here, is it? No. So let's just get this done. You'd be lucky if we get a paint, a coat of paint. Debbie said if I do it, she'll paint these black, so she's going to paint these black for me. Anyway, let's get this fitted. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, quite pleased. We've managed to clamp them so we can take this on and off at our pleasure. Plus, if they do come loose, they're not going to drop off and disappear, because we've put an edge on here, a lip on there. They're going to get loose. We're going to know to stop and tighten them up. It's going to get us home. Thing is, if it was a clamp and the clamp fell off, and then you notice this was loose, how are you going to get it home? You're not going to get it home, are you? So this way, if it does come loose, it'll hang on in there. Nothing will go missing by the time we found out what's going on. This isn't going to jump out. But if it was getting stressed or bounced, you don't know. Short of leaving a camera here to watch the thing all the time, or testing it over bumpy roads, it's not going to catch the bottom because we've shortened the shafts. Look, it's close to the lowest point, but it's not the lowest point. Yeah, we could do maybe that could do with shortening just that little bit more, but it don't matter because it misses the lowest point. So this will tell us if we're low. Let's get the flag back in. Woohoo! It's on there, rock solid. Absolutely rock solid. Gonna be just fine. We can use the same top link as what we did about through there. We're going to change this, make this look a bit prettier, find some better, bigger rubber washers for that. It's only all thread. All thread through one of them, round here onto there. So that's going to be just fine. We can find a pretty long bolt. It's just to hold these all three together. Here, pretty long but thin bolt. What do we need? What do we need? Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Where have we seen? Pretty long. That'll do. Coach bolts. Yeah, that'll do. Coach bolt. Where's that? 6B6. A. B. 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 B6. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Down here somewhere. B6, 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 B. Oh, B6, that's the one. Them's the ones. They'll do just fine. Yeah. We need two of those. That'll do for now, but we'll pull that in, put a washer here, put a nylock there, and then hide it under black tape. Let's cut this off now then. Oh, I'm so pleased to have the flag back on the back of the bike. We're going to try something. We've got a tripod here. We've got the 360. I'll put the 360 and go up and down a few times. Let's see what happens. I don't know what you're going to see because you're on a fixed tripod. Let's bring you up a bit. There we are. I'm going to set up the 360, so hold on a minute. Sound recording, let's try that without running the damn thing over. What did that look like? We'll put her away for now, but I think the flag is still catching. Ooh. Let's see what sort of film that makes. So the flag is still trying to catch on the end of here. Still trying to, it needs a bit of a thread and it catches itself and it gets stuck. But I was thinking, make a hole in here big enough for the whole tube to go into. I could cover them with a flower pot, couldn't I? That would make that disappear, wouldn't it? Get the flower pot big enough to go around here. Round it, sit it, make a hole for the whole tube here. It wouldn't do that then, would it? It'd have nothing to catch on to. Yeah, that might be the solution. And if you paint it black and you put it over the top there like that, coming, you know, this coming through the middle of there, that would do a nice cover for there, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know how it would travel, but yeah, we'll use a flower pot. We'll make a hole in a flower pot, stick the tube in it, stick this around the flower pot, all this inside a flower pot. Oh, I think that might do it, you know. Is this going to be big enough? I think it might be, you know. Let's try that.